If you're right-handed, it's completely natural to take the right side of your body. We're looking down at this ball, and we want the ball to go that way. It's natural to take your right arm, your right hand, your right leg, and think, okay, I'm gonna put effort into this club. I'm gonna get my club head speed by pushing everything toward the target. That's the way I grew up playing, and it makes a lot of sense. The harder we push toward the target, that should be the faster the club head speed and the faster the ball is gonna be moving. But in reality, that's actually the wrong idea. If we push toward the target, it's gonna slow down our swing speed. I'm gonna talk about how that's the wrong idea. We're gonna put it to the measurement, put it to the test on the flight scope, and we're gonna talk about the right idea, which is moving away from the target. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's talk about this first idea and this pushing toward the target. Well, that was the way I always visualized the golf swing. Like I said, I'm right-handed, there's the ball, there's the target. I'm just gonna push it right on down there, and the harder I do that, the more my club head speed is gonna increase. That's the idea that I had. Let's go ahead and put that to the test. I'll hit a drive here, and my mental, my visualization on this one is gonna be to take the palm of my right hand, take my right shoulder, my right leg, and just get that thing going as hard toward the target as I can. Let's go ahead and let one rip, and let's see what it says here on the flight scope. Yeah, so I swung hard, I put out a lot of effort. I actually hit the ball pretty daggone solid, so my numbers are gonna be pretty decent there. But let's check out the club head speed and see what that said. So on that one, my club head speed was 111.5, so it's not terrible. You hit a good shot and you think, oh, I'm really onto something there. That right side push, that stuff really works. My carry distance was 275 because I absolutely hit it dead solid. And then my total distance was 299.4. So let's talk about why that's the wrong thing and how we'd actually tap into a little bit more swing speed. Okay, so recently I was actually watching a video with Sasho McKenzie. He's one of the top golf biomechanists out there, and he had a great example with a sledgehammer. He was on one of Cordy Walker's videos, podcast, and he was taking this sledgehammer, and I thought, man, what a great way to show people where the forces are happening in the swing. And if we take that right side dominant swing, again, here's my right hand. Let's imagine this is a golf club. I got my right hand. I'm trying to push this sledgehammer toward the ball. What's going to end up happening is it's actually pulling us toward the target. So I'm going to try to make a swing here. This is pretty hard to do. I'll make a full swing. You'll see how it's going to kind of take me off toward the target like that. It's pulling all my weight forward. Well, in the golf swing, if we visualize the golf swing that way, we're not actually getting as much speed as we could be getting. What the golf swing should be happening, and to stay in balance and to get that club whipping through contact, is we actually want to feel like we're pulling away from the target. So in the swing, same thing happens with your golf club. Once you get a normal weight golf club moving with some speed, all that momentum wants to start to carry it forward. And if we want to keep that thing accelerating and to get it to whip through contact with a lot of speed, we actually need to feel like we're pushing down and out with our left leg. I'm clearing my left shoulder, kind of backing up. I'm clearing my left arm and my left hip backing up that way. And if I do that, if I swing this sledgehammer, now when I have this backward feeling, what's happening is that actually accelerates the sledgehammer or the club more than it would if I'm just trying to push it forward. So that's what Dr. Sasho McKenzie found when he did his research. Actually put some numbers to what players are doing, some of the top players are doing with the force and the handle of the club. What he found is that players, as they're coming through contact, instead of pushing forward toward the target, he actually found that once you get all this lag, I'm gonna pull this club back and up. The force is actually going kind of back over my left shoulder or behind my left shoulder as I'm coming through contact, or as all the top players are coming through contact. Nobody was trying to push the club toward the target at that point that was swinging really fast. If you want to swing 120 miles an hour, or what would be considered the elite pro level, found that that had about 110 pounds of force going this direction, that way. And the reason that is because this club lags, and if I can get the force of the club going kind of back behind me, that's going to let this club whip on through. So you imagine if I just pull straight up on this club, watch what happens to the club head. It whips through, it accelerates. Because the club head's lagging behind, it wants to catch up with the way my hand's going. If I just try to pull this club that way, it's not going to accelerate as fast. I'm actually losing some speed. So in a nutshell, really good golf swings, as you're coming through contact, everything is clearing back up out of the way. That allows you to get those long arms. That allows you to really finish in a good posture like you see the pros doing. And most importantly, that allows you to get big speed without a lot of muscle effort. So now let's do a drill to put this to the test. Let's actually start working in the right direction, the right way. what I want you guys to feel like you're doing, let's go ahead and drop the club for now. Let's just put your hands across your shoulders. Now from here, as you start your downswing, I want these hips to go ahead and start opening up. And I want you to feel like when you're pushing down into the ground, that you're opening your shoulders, you're letting your body come on through, but you're pushing your body back. I don't want to feel like you're doing this and coming forward. I want to feel like we're shifting to the left, and then from there, clearing out of the way. And if I do this correctly, I'll feel like my chest is nice and high. If I do it incorrectly, I'll have this position where my chest is down to the ground. I want to feel like my chest is nice and high. I want to feel like my belt buckle is toward the target. And most importantly, I want to feel like my left shoulder clears out of the way all the way into the finish. So if I just have my arms across the shoulders, get in a good 10 reps just doing this. So I shift to the left, everything clears out of the way, my chest is high, my left shoulder has come all the way around, and now I'm at that good full finish position. So that's the first piece. We get that body working the correct way. Now let's add the club to that. So the only way to get this to happen correctly is we have to have some lag. If I don't have any lag and I'm casting this club, if I pull to the left, it's not really accelerating the club. Remember, this club had to be lagging behind so that when we pulled, it whipped on through there. So what I want you to do now is make a little half swing and pause when you're about halfway down, when your hands are in front of your right thigh. You're gonna want your club to be parallel with the ground, and you have a big angle of lag here. So from there, I'm gonna pair that up with that body position that I just worked on. So I'm gonna come halfway down, good amount of lag, your legs are really bent and engaged, and then from there, that good full finish position, chest high, shoulder all the way on through. What you'll get a feel of as you do some little mini swings, you start to go a little farther back, is that momentum of the club is really whipping on through there. So if I'm casting, I won't have anything left. So you're doing 5 or 10, pausing, making sure you're in the right spot, and then coming on through. Then you're gonna get that same feeling, 5 or 10 more, a little bit more momentum, really getting that club to whip on through. And then once you build that muscle memory, once you get the feel for that, go ahead, let it rip. Go out to the driving range, see how fast you can hit one doing that. Let's put it to test on my flight scope. All right, hammered that one. Nice draw around the corner there. That's gonna be picking up a little bit of swing speed and a little bit faster. So remember in the original one where I had the idea that I'm gonna push toward the target, my club head speed was 111.5. This one jumped up to 123.3, so I really put a pretty good rip on that one. Didn't hit it quite as solid, but my carry distance went up, I think about 13, 14 yards. My total distance went up about 20 yards. So that one was 319.4. So even if you're already swinging pretty fast, you may have another 5 or 10 miles an hour in there that you don't know about, that you haven't realized yet. Even if you're not swinging as fast, this could be the thing that really puts you over the edge. So no matter what your swing speed is, it could be 80, it could be 120, try this out. This is the proper way to put force in the club. All the research backs it up, and if you can do this, it's really gonna help your game. Now I've got a great bonus for you. In this video, we talked about how we have to have some lag. We have to have this good angle of the club. That way when we pull on through, back up and out, that's gonna allow that club to accelerate. But we gotta get that club in a good position first, and that's where we go over in the move. I have an awesome video called the tennis racket drill. I'm gonna play a preview of that here in a second. Once you pair that up with what we did in this video, you're gonna have that 1-2 punch. You're gonna get that lag and that club coming from the inside, and then you're gonna whip it on through there to get the speed. Let's go ahead and get started. Good player problems. We're gonna talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it. The flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time, I'm going to be